What's going on, everybody? This is Travis from Tradewithtravis. Hope everybody's doing very well on this Thursday morning. Hopefully, you end up having a very good trading day on this Thursday. Why I keep on doing that? I got to get better at that. I should have just had the video ready to go. I hope everybody's doing very well on this Thursday morning as we go through and be able to take a look at some overall trading opportunities. This is another episode of Trade with Travis. If you're not familiar with me, I am a trader that's been trading for the last 6 years. I'm going to say professionally trading because I am profitable, so that's a good thing. But essentially, what we end up doing from this session is we end up going about 20 to 25 minutes, being able to take a look at the chart, seeing if there's any other trading opportunities that we can be able to get into, being able to review some of the activities that we ended up doing last night, and also being able to see what may end up being potentially there for his overall trading opportunities a little bit later on. So if you're interested in being able to learn a little bit more, obviously you can be able to and click on that boost button when it comes down to everything that's on TradingView, and obviously be able to follow. And then obviously with everything else for the red brand, you know what to do. Click like, subscribe, do everything else that you end up going from there. I'm going to place inside of the chat box high just to make sure that everything is working from there. Here it is. It's working perfectly. So let's go ahead and go through the disclaimer, and then after that, we'll go ahead and jump right into some trading opportunities this morning. So I'm not a CTA, so I'm not going to tell you whether to buy or whether to sell. What I'm going to do is teach you education, and from the education, you can be able to make your own informed decision. Now, understand that trading involves risk. It involves risk of being able to make money. Also involves risk of being able to lose money. So please keep that in mind. And understand that past performance is not indicative of future results, which means that if you end up making money yesterday, it's not promised that you're going to end up making money today. So with that being said, as we go through and take a look at the charts and being able to get some examples and everything else like that, I kind of go through this, but it's been a while since I talked about it from this standpoint. Let's go through and just talk about what I like to be able to look at. I like to be able to find trending markets only, but that's depending on when the market is in a trending type of vibe. Now, if the market is in a consolidated vibe, then we talk about the vortex strategy, and obviously we have plenty of videos, whether if it's through the YouTube page, whether if it's through TradingView or all of my other platforms, that you can be able to see what that strategy actually is and be able to go from there. Then from there, one non-negotiable thing is that I have to have time frame alignment. The weekly and the daily have to be trading with each other for me to even consider being able to get into a trade. Then after that, I look at overbought and oversold stochastics, basically that are trading in the same direction. And then after that, we have to be able to have a catalyst. Now, the catalyst is broken down into two separate things: a counter trend line break and some economic news that is backing it up. And then after that, obviously, you want to be able to have good risk versus reward management. If you end up doing that, then you keep yourself in the game. As long as you keep yourself into the game, then that means you can trade. And as long as you keep on trading, that means that you can keep on making potential money based off of your overall opportunities to be able to go from there. So with that being said, I am going to end up saying hey to everyone, for the people that are live, for the people that typically are within our groups and everything else like that. I want to make sure that I can be able to say hey to everyone. So if you would, go ahead and say hey inside the chat box. Do that. We'll go ahead and go from there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the economic calendar. Let's see what's going on with that. Kind of get an example of what's going on from that standpoint. And then obviously, I want to make sure that everyone can be able to see this. Give me one quick second. I want to make sure that everyone can be able to see this real quick. Bam, there we go. All right, so what's happening today? Today is supposed to be today is definitely supposed to be a trader state. It's really nothing when it comes down to news overall that we should be worried about. Yesterday, remember, we ended up having the big day, and it kind of ended up being very slow, in my personal opinion. Even though we got news, we got good news from retail sales, bad news from CPI. Well, good news for CPI when it came down to the pounds, but not necessarily as good when it came down to Canada. And then after that, a little bit later on last night, we ended up having unemployment rate and unemployment change for the Australian dollar. At least when we took a look at it during our night session last night, it basically didn't do anything. It popped up very quickly, fell down, and then after that started going consolidated. So as we take a look at the markets today, we can kind of get a better example about what's happening. For the people that are watching live, if you have a trading pair that you would like to be able to take a look at, then we will take a look at that as well. Now, I am going to start out with US CAD. US CAD was a trade that we ended up getting into last night. Move this out the way. I've been doing a lot of reviews, and finally had the opportunity to be able to send those reviews out. So, okay, perfect. Currently, right now, we're in US 30. I know we're in US CAD. I know I'm placing a pending order on that, so that should be in. Uh, da, 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 da. Well, I said, Fatty, what's going on? Hope everything's been going well. Pounds has some heavy news today in an hour. In an hour. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at that. Um, I I could have sworn I had a trade on US CAD. Okay, maybe I didn't, but okay. Either way, let's go ahead and talk about US CAD real quick because I do want to go ahead and jump into this. This was a trade that I was very much interested in, and it's pretty much in the same positions from where we were last week, where we were earlier this morning. So market's been in consolidation and broke out of consolidation to the upside. When it broke out of consolidation to the upside, it finally ended up retesting. We actually ended up getting this. Um, one of the guys on the live stream ended up talking about this yesterday. Actually, that was BD, I believe, that ended up talking about this. Market ended up going through consolidation, made a double bottom, and then after that has broken above this overall highs at this particular point. I need to stop playing. I need to go ahead and get everything situated so I can jump in this. Everybody give me one quick second because I thought we had a plan. I know we had a plan, but I need to take a look at it from trading view. And then after that, Fatty, I'll take a look at what you have for us, the overall example with the pound, and kind of go from there. But I know we had a plan. I don't know if I thought I had everything placed in. Why did it not kick in? That is weird to me. Okay. I'm taking an instant order right now. Take profit. It's going to end up being at 134.29. I have all the numbers in. I don't know why it didn't take it. That's weird. That is weird, weird, weird. Stop loss was 133.10. Bam. Okay. Oh, it had it as a pending order. Well, no, that was a pending order. I go instant. Sorry. Bam. All right. I'm in that order, 15 minutes in the sell zone. That's the only thing that I don't like about this now. But last night we ended up taking a trade on this one at 133.56. And take profit was going up to 134.28. I'm sorry, 134.25 for the overall position to be able to get out. Reason why we ended up doing that was because exactly what I ended up saying. The market was in consolidation, broke out of consolidation to the upside. We have this high volume node or this low volume node that we're in. Want to be able to go up to at least this point at 134.25 and be able to make the move from there. So this is a active trade that we're in right now at this particular point. Quite frankly, I'm kind of upset because I thought that I got triggered in. I swore I got triggered in earlier, but evidently I didn't place in the trade, which is weird. But either way, okay. So that trade is in. I'm going to end up leaving this up for a quick second. Once again, the entry was at 135. The entry before was at 135. 65. Take profit is at 134.25. Stop loss is at 133.25 for it being able to get in. I don't think I got kicked out of that trade. Oh, I did. That's why I got stopped out. Okay, that makes sense. I got stopped out when it fell down to this point right here on the first one. Okay, so it just went back up. So I just re-entered. Okay, well, that makes more sense. Okay, so cool. In that trade right now, currently, we end up going from there. Let me do a screenshot on this and send this over to everybody. So the entry market is 1.3310. Profit is 1.3425. So we'll see how this kind of plays itself out. It may end up because it is in a 15-minute sell zone, it may end up giving us a little bit of a better chance to see this market kind of drop a little bit more. If that is the case, then I'm totally fine with that as well. But I thought, well, like I ended up saying before, I thought that we ended up getting placed into the trade. It's just that for some reason, I did get placed into the trade, got kicked out of the trade early this morning. So early this at the beginning of the morning, obviously we're at a loss when it comes down to that at this particular point, but we'll get it. Obviously, we'll get it back. We did it based off of a 1% entry. So we end up going from there. But here is the link for everybody to be able to see. Bam, there you go. And we can be able to go from there. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening with pounds. We'll take a look at pound United States dollar since we're already up, and kind of taking a look at that overall. From a weekly perspective, if I remember correctly, this move was already over with, and we didn't take a trade off of this because of the market basically already having that retracement. From a daily D extension, market ended up hitting the daily D extension right around 1.11, and then after that kept on falling. From there, if you take a look at it from a daily perspective, the market ended up having a retracement, did an ABCD swing. There's a D extension that's expected to be hit at 122.14. So yes, Fatty, there's still a little bit more meat on the bone when it comes down to that. If we take a look at it from a 2-hour perspective, take a look at it from a 2-hour perspective, the market is in a no trade zone, and the market looks like it ended up making somewhat of a double top, and it's starting to turn around a little bit. Now, I think the reason why it's starting to turn around a little bit is because the United States dollar is starting to retrace a little bit and get a little bit stronger from the weakness that it's going to have for the last couple of weeks. So it would not surprise me if the pound ends up continuing to fall down and the United States dollar continues to keep on going up. That's the reason why I end up buying on US CAD. That's the reason why when I took a look at the index pairs, I thought the market was going to fall more than it was going to end up going up. So let's keep that in mind. Right now, I'm gonna hold off on this one. But if there's a pair that you're actually in on that, Fatty, let me know. Send a screenshot for everybody to be able to see, obviously, and we end up going from there. All right, so let's get into a United States dollar index. We'll take a look at that real quick and kind of go from there. Remember, today is really what's going on, Block. Today is really not that much news overall. So we'll kind of see how we kind of played out last night when we took a look at what's happening with dollar. The market's in the buy zone, end up hitting the D extension. We're starting to see the market is giving us more of a morning star of a candlestick formation, at least for right now. We have bearish indecision, well, bearish decision, bearish decision, bearish decision. We got an indecision candlestick, and then after that, we have some bullish move when it comes down to that. I'm looking at GJ for sale. We'll take a look at that as well. And we're seeing that the market is starting to go back up from there. Fatty, you have a pattern. I think most of the time when we end up talking, we are talking about GJ. We're talking about a few pairs, but it's definitely pound yen is one of those staples for you. Let's see. I would consider that gold was in a small bit of a consolidation. Then after that has broken up to the upside, or at least considering where we are right now, starting to break out to the upside. But from an hour perspective, I can see that sellers are starting to take this down a little bit. But that's where we are currently at this particular point. The market continues to move that way, then I think that it will continue on its path of being able to have that retracement that we were looking for going into at the beginning of the week. The extension on the short-term move is 13,106. GJ's babe. I feel the same way about all index pairs, especially German 40. German 40, when it's on a roll, I mean, a lot of volatility, a lot of direction, a lot of movement, and it's one of those things that I really do like. So I understand your sentiment when it comes down to that. United States dollar index, I still think that the market's going to end up pushing bullish. I think that it's going to take a little bit of time to be able to get there because obviously we're still early in the morning, but I think it will make that move to the upside from there. Let's talk about oil. Oil, pretty simple. I don't think that we're still interested in being able to trade yet. Market is pushing all the way down to 82.50. Once it pushes down to 82.50, then I would look at being able to possibly get into it as a strategy 4 type of movement, meaning that I'll be looking at being able to buy at 82.50, placing a stop loss below, probably below this overall low right here, possibly below that overall low of that consolidation block, which would be at 80.50. And then after that, look at possibly being able to ride that all the way back up to 93.60. Keep in mind, I obviously we're in the winter months. The market is getting cold, and people are going to end up using that heat when it comes down to that. Oil is going to end up being one of those things that we are going to end up taking a look at, as well as natural gas. That reminds me that we need to take a look at natural gas as well. I think natural gas is going to end up popping up as well to the upside. But 82.50 will be the area where I will look at being able to possibly be able to take in a trade to the upside. Now, I'm not going to just first guess and just jump in right now. I need to see the thing bounce first. But if we do get that situation where the market does bounce off and it's starting to give us a little bit of a counter trend line break somewhere around here, then I will be interested in being able to make that move to the upside and keep on rolling with it as it's going through its consolidation. I believe that it will be in consolidation, but I do think that it will fall to support and start to be able to make a push back up to the upside. Let's see, let me go ahead and do that now. Just going to set the pending order so I can be able to make sure that if it does happen, then I'll be ready. 82.50, stop loss to be at 80.50. Take profit. I'm going to break this down into 2 different positions. I break it down to the halfway point. Then after that, I break it down to the full position up top. I'm going to say 93.60 will be take profit, which will obviously be the full take profit or the natural resistance if that does happen. And then after that, halfway point will end up being what? 82, blah, 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 blah. Let's say what, 89, somewhere around there. Halfway point will be, I'll say 88. The reason why I'm saying 88 is very simple. Obviously, if you end up taking a look at this from a trading perspective, if this market does pop up, and if this is a true push, then typically the market will at least get to the halfway point. And because that is the case, that will be my first point order. Get in, take out half of the profit, move to the break even, and then after that, let the rest ride out from there. Okay, so essentially, what that would look like, very simple, would end up being something like this. Entry. That is my first take profit. Second take profit will end up being up here. Stop loss will end up being right here. And right here. Now, once again, I have to get confirmation that this thing is going to end up bouncing. So I'm not taking a trade yet, but I do have the pending orders set up to where if I need it and I need to go ahead and pull the trigger, then I am going to do that. So there is the example. Once again, this is a strategy 4 example. If that does happen, then obviously we end up using that as a way of being able to get in on that pair. Okay. Typing a while, yes, if that makes sense. Starting to see that the United States dollar is starting to make a little bit of a push. The Skywalker EA probably should have, I'm going to say this now, Skywalker EA probably should have a, probably should be buy trade that's coming in off of that one, and should actually start to trigger in a little bit later on. So keep that in mind. All right. Let's take a look at gold real quick. Gold, I'm still not messing with it yet. This is showing way more signs of um, I don't know if y'all notice it, but it's showing way more signs of a rising wedge that has already been broken. Or, yeah. Excuse me. Showing signs of rising wedge has already been broken. Rising wedge, just like getting on a roller coaster, you end up getting that big move to the upside. Then after that, you get your tick, 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 tick. And then after that, you have that big fall to the downside. I think that will happen. Ultimately, I think that what will happen is that you end up having, you have this past resistance turn into future support. And if that does happen, then after that, there's a trade to be had at this particular point. But once again, I'm not going to go too heavy and just think that the United States dollar is going to end up being strong and try to do it on every pair. Me, that does not make any sense if I'm going to end up doing it like that. I do believe that there's going to end up being a move, but I'm not going to jump in on every pair on the United States dollar and kind of pick through. So I'm going to comb through and figure out what's going to end up being the best ones and then kind of go from there, and kind of see how that's going to end up reacting. At least early right now with US CAD, obviously we see this thing start to turn around a little bit. As long as it holds above 133.57 or 133.50, then I think that we have a pretty good chance of being able to stay up. Our stop loss is below the swing low anyway, so we'll be good on that. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick. Okay, so block, we went from seeing a diamond to actually seeing this market be in just a box consolidation. So I'm going to get rid of the diamond. Um, Actually, no. Well, yeah, I'm going to get rid of the diamond, but now it's then turned more into a still more of a triangle. So it has a little bit more room to be able to move before being able to drop, but or before being able to drop or being able to pop up to the upside. But we've been seeing a lot of consolidation inside this area, and obviously the market is inside of a box consolidation from 15,800 and 18,240. We end up seeing what's going on with that. I still think that the market could potentially fall all the way down to that 12,000 number. I remember block. I think you end up saying 14,000 something. No, yeah, it was 14,215 or something like that. We end up seeing from there. I'm looking forward to break down to 16 or break below 16. Yeah, I can see that happening. There's no catalyst yet. So you got to see what the catalyst is going to end up being. But currently, right now, it's really nothing to do off of this. Really not even worth doing the top down analysis because there's nothing there yet. Okay, good. So let's go through. I don't like how I got. It looked like we got caught holding the bag right here, and that's the reason why. Well, no, I got placed in right here. Oh, got placed in. It automatically failed. Pop right back up. Let's see if it holds. Hopefully, it holds. I'm gonna set an alert. Um, Set alert to keep me honest on this one. Yes, we took it in the night session, but the problem is I got stopped out on it early this morning. Um, ooh, what happened? Okay, yeah, I got stopped out of it early this morning. Um, it placed us right in, double tapped, and then failed. I know what it is. I know what it was. I know what it was. Um, Well, no, I did take a full loss on it. I still took a full loss on it. We got placed in the market. Remember, it fell. It fell initially. I was like, okay, well, I just wait and I just have a pending order set up. The pending order got placed in right around here. That was, I guess, that was right around midnight. And then after that, fell down, took us out, and then pushed right back up. So when I was looking at it a little bit earlier, I was like, man, um, or like, why was I not in the trade? I seen that the market popped up. It was because we got stopped out. So I'm taking another crack at it. Basically end up splitting the percentage on this one. We'll see what happens. 15 minutes in the sell zone, so that means that we still got about another hour to an hour and a half worth of overall movement, and we end up going from there. Is that another bearish divergence? Good question. I don't necessarily look at divergence all that much, if I'm being honest, but I still have this RSI divergence indicator that I ended up looking up a long time ago. This is saying no, at least not yet, but I will keep it up. So the one good thing about being able to have a premium tag is that I can have 100,000 EAs. I mean, 100,000 indicators on one chart now. So let's take a look at that. From a Ikumoku standpoint, it's still bullish, though. We're still in a bullish trend overall. All right, so let's go US 30 real quick. So remember, we did two different orders off of this movement, um, this morning or in the last night's session. We end up saying that one, we have this long-term trade, or we have this trade right on the outside of consolidation. If the market broke below 33,300, that we could be able to get in, and it did exactly what happened with US CAD. Went down. Let me get this off the screen. I don't want that there. Running out of information to be able to go from there. Have like 11 indicators per chart. Man, because I draw so much on my screen, I would go nuts. I know people looking at my screen right now be like, "What the heck is he looking at?" Right? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you can have all of that stuff on the screen, but it's really not gonna, unless you truly don't have a purpose for it. Then take it off, use it as a template, and then turn it on when you need it. But the first trade was this. We ended up saying that if the market ended up breaking below 33,000, 33,440, then we'll be placed in on a sale. That sale would end up going all the way down to the take profit, which was at 32,980. The second trade that we ended up having was at the consolidation support, which was at 33,300, and basically doing that same order. That one got tapped in, and currently, right now, that one is at a loss at this particular point. Or no, it didn't tap me in. Let's see. I got 33,310. 33,310. Oh, so it never tapped me in. Perfect. 33,310 was the area where I can end up getting placed in. My automation system placed me inside of two sales at 33,394. Okay, so all right, that's where we're at when it comes down to that. You're a horse and buggy trader. Oh man. We'll see how that kind of plays out, at least for right now. Max, so what's going on? Hope everything's going well with you. Take a look at gold. We already took a look at gold, but I'll go through it again. definitely take a look at it again. Hope everything's going well with you. So I'm going to let both of those play out. Stop loss on the sell trade that we ended up having a little bit earlier today was at 33,570. So we're okay with that one. And obviously, I stop loss in this overall position from the beginning. What just happened? What just happened? Oh, took profit. Why did it take profit? Okay, either way, that's money made. Cool. The stop loss on the second trade is at 33,540. So we got a little bit of room, allow it to be able to move and kind of go from there and do its thing. Once again, I do believe that the United States dollar is going to end up being bullish. So we got a little bit of time, but that means that indexes will fall. So we end up going from there. Let's go through. I'm going to go back and take a look at gold real quick. I did not take a trade on it as of yet, but I do see that we had a little bit of a rising wedge. The market is starting to fall a little bit. I believe that the market will fall back down and turn past resistance into future support, which will end up being right here in this area at 1730. So I think the market could fall down from 1675 or 1765 all the way down to 1730 before being able to have that much of hesitation or that much of resistance from a group seeing the market fall down or trying to get into the market as the market is falling down. So once again, the reason why I did not take that trade is because I'm already in a couple pairs that have United States dollar bias for the market, for the market being strong, and because the whole basket is not strong, I'm not going to jump in and just throw everything in just based off the United States dollar being strong. All right, so we end up going from there. Last one today, we'll take a look at what's happening with Nas. Then after that, obviously, we end up talking a little bit later on tonight. Nas, I don't think that we placed in a trade. I don't think that we placed in a move off of this one. But if we did, then there's no move to be able to take at this particular point in time. Reason being is because kind of like what I just said, with gold, market end up breaking out, breaking to the upside. There was a long-term consolidation. Currently, right now, it's resting on top of that. There's no counter trend line break to be able to speak of for us being able to buy. And if the market does fall, I think that since it's done fell back inside this consolidated area, that it could fall all the way down to the natural support of that area, 10,980, at some particular point in time, if the United States dollar is going to end up being strong, right? That's a long term. That's a long term thought process. But ultimately, the area where if I'm doing anything with Nas would end up being right here. Now I need to consider this a little bit more because we are in a low volume node area based off of just based off of volume. So this is what I would do. I'm not going to jump into anything right now, but I am going to wait until the 15-minute gets inside of the sell zone. If the 15-minute gets inside of the sell zone, there's a particular trade that I can be able to get based off of a counter trend line break, then I will consider that a little bit more. My automation system caught it, but it caught it based off of moving average crossovers. So it's already in at this particular point. So where did it get in? Where did it get in? We got placed in at 11,655. But currently, right now, from a manual standpoint, I would not do anything until there's a true counter trend line break. So, got my alert set up, and we end up taking a look at that. As a potential opportunity from there. Any questions before we get out of here? Anything? Let's go through the pairs that we're in. But if you have a question or anything else like that, please make sure that you end up placing it inside of the chat box. Make sure that people in the red brand can be able to see. Everything's good with that. Don't have any messages on that yet. All right. So Nas in 3 trades based off of the striker EA FX striker EA at 11,655. Stop loss was 11,750 and the take profit. Obviously those are a little bit more independent, but the first one will be at 11,606. Second one is 11,475. Third one is 11,227. We are in US CAD at this particular point. US CAD currently right now is down. Obviously, 15 minutes is inside of the sell zone. We are looking at being able to sell that and continue to be able to sell that with the thought process that the United States dollar is going to end up having a little bit of a bounce back day at this particular point. You like an update design and streams page. Everything's been working out well. The live chat went a little bit more smoother than what it was before. I think I ended up placing again messages about that before, that the live stream you couldn't see the messages, so I had to keep on refreshing everything. But other than that, everything else is okay. So once again, we end up getting placed inside of or end up doing a market order on US CAD at 1.3377 and 1.3381 respectively. But remember, I want to see if this market holds above this overall consolidation high. Turn past resistance and the future support. If it does, then after that we have a big push. I don't think that it will, at least initially. I think it'll probably hold right around this 133.55 area. So you want to be a little bit more patient. You could possibly be able to make a move like that, or possibly be a little bit more patient on this move. But I would not jump in. At least not yet, until the 15 minutes in the buy zone. You get a better number than what I did. And then after that, see if you can be able to ride it up from up there. All right. What else? And obviously US 30. We are in on US 30. US 30 is. Hey, there goes me. Come on, hurry up now. Jeez. US 30, we're in 2 different orders. Well, actually, we're in 1 different order. The other one has not popped in yet. The first one with this aggressive move to the downside ended up being at 33,440. Currently, right now, we're up on that one. The stop loss was above the overall swing high, which was, hold on, I can pull it up and be certain on it. 33,394. No, that's not it. 33,570. 33,570 is the actual stop loss on that one. As we go through 570, 570, 570, 570. Okay, cool. Okay, 33,570 is the stop loss on that one. So we're gonna be a little bit patient, see how the market kind of reacts off all of those, and kind of go from there. If you like what I end up doing, please make sure that you end up clicking on the boost button. I do appreciate everyone being able to do that. And obviously, we're seeing a little bit more. Pickup when it comes down to numbers and views and everything else like that. I only attribute that to y'all, and obviously for the people that have been day one since what we've been doing. Obviously, we've been kicking tail when it comes down to being able to go 2 days out of the week and try to go from that since early April. So we'll keep on continue doing that. Like always, plan your trade your plan. Remember, you got to create your own luck, so you got to be a risk taker. Everyone, take it easy. I'll see y'all last session tonight. Take it easy.